Hello, everyone. In the previous lesson, we completed the design of the simulated exhaust fan circuit. In this lesson, we will make preparations for the soldering of the simulated exhaust fan circuit according to the schematic diagram of the circuit. The preparations include obtaining information, making a plan, and implementing decisions. Through this lesson, we will understand the basic process of making a simulated exhaust fan circuit and master the essentials of circuit soldering. The key points of this lesson are to learn how to test touch switches, relays, and exhaust fans, as well as how to check the type and pin functions of a transistor based on its type. An ancient saying goes, "He who fails to plan is planning to fail." It means that the implementation process can be well organized, targeted, and efficient only if the data and information about the relevant knowledge are fully acquired beforehand. Therefore, our first step is to acquire data and information. Understand the component list for this task, learn the methods for testing the components in the list, acquire knowledge about manual soldering, and become proficient in applying these skills. In our last project task, we have learned 1. Tools that might be needed for manual soldering. 2. Steps for measuring resistance using a multimeter. 3. Testing of diodes, capacitors, and other components. 4. Basic principles for installing and soldering components. 5. Hazards of and protection against static electricity. 6. Requirements for bending and shaping the pins of components like resistors when mounted horizontally. In this project task, we still need to review and master the above knowledge. Before soldering, let's think about the following questions. 1. What components are used in the simulated exhaust fan circuit? 2. How to determine if a touch switch is functioning properly? 3. How to determine if a relay is functioning properly? 4. How to identify the type of a transistor and its pin functions? 5. How to determine if an exhaust fan is functioning properly? What components are used in the simulated exhaust fan circuit? According to the schematic diagram of the simulated exhaust fan circuit, what is used in this circuit includes a resistor, diode, capacitor, relay, touch switch, transistor, and exhaust fan. The new components used in this project are the relay, touch switch, transistor, and exhaust fan. Next, let's list the components as shown in the diagram. The touch switch is used in this circuit. How to test a touch switch. A 4-pin touch switch internally contains 2 pairs of connected pins. As shown in the diagram, pins 1 and 2 are connected, and pins 3 and 4 are connected. Pins 1 and 2, together with pins 3 and 4, form a switch. Therefore, it is essential to install it correctly during soldering, otherwise it will not function as a switch. Set the multimeter range at a ×1. Then connect the red probe to any pin, pin 1, and use the black probe to touch the 2 adjacent pins. If the multimeter pointer remains stationary when a pin is touched, proceed to press the button. If the multimeter pointer jumps to 0 ohms upon pressing and returns to infinity upon releasing the button, it indicates that the pin being tested is pin 3, and that the touch switch is functioning properly. Note: numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are used for describing the testing method of the touch switch. They do not represent actual pins. The relay is used in this circuit. How to test a relay? 1. A relay consists of 2 parts, the coil and the contact set. To determine whether a relay is damaged, we need to measure these 2 parts separately. 2. Coil measurement method. Set the multimeter range at a ×1 and connect the 2 probes to any outlet pins of the relay coil for measurement. The test result should be the same as the nominal value. If the resistance value is significantly lower, it indicates a partial short circuit in the coil. If the resistance value is 0, it means the coil is shorted. If the resistance value is infinite, it means the coil is disconnected. 3. Measurement method for NO contacts. Set the multimeter range at a ×1 for measurement. The resistance value of NO contacts should be infinite, and that of NC contacts should be a few tenths of an ohm. If the measured resistance value deviates too much, it means that the relay is damaged and unusable. There are two types of transistors, NPN transistors and PNP transistors. The one used in this circuit is a PNP transistor. How to identify the type of transistor and its pin functions? A transistor's type can be identified by its packaging casing. According to the databook of Transistor 9011, Transistor 9011 is an NPN transistor, and its component symbols and pins are as shown in diagram 1. According to the databook of Transistor 9012, Transistor 9012 is a PNP transistor, and its component symbols and pins are as shown in diagram 2. We can use the above method to check the type and pin functions of the transistor 8550 used in this project. The micro-exhaust fan is used in this circuit. How to determine if a micro-exhaust fan is functioning properly? The rated voltage of the micro-exhaust fan in the circuit is 5 volts DC. If the fan operates normally when the rated voltage is applied, it indicates that the fan is functioning properly. Having completed the study of the data and information about the simulated exhaust fan circuit, we now move on to the second process, develop a work plan. Through the study of the above content, we have gained a general understanding of the essentials of component testing and circuit soldering. Next, we will draft a work plan based on the basic principles of component installation and soldering. The contents include the preparation list, work safety, work quality, environmental protection, and working time. A work plan helps us further organize our work and improve efficiency. Next, we move on to the third process, implement decisions. After discussions with classmates and teachers, we determine the work plan and begin the installation and soldering of components. In this lesson, we've mainly learned 1. What components are used in the simulated exhaust fan circuit? 2. How to determine if a touch switch is functioning properly. 3. How to determine if a relay is functioning properly. 4. How to identify the type of a transistor and its pin functions. That's the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching.